All right. Hey, we're here. It's me. Don't look at me like that. Stop it. I had a thought. I didn't know when the thing was going to hit. I had an idea.
It's super
and
loud. If you had decent speakers, you would have heard it. It's loud as fuck.
I have decent speakers, okay? I didn't know it was coming out soon, okay? It's only the second week we've used this boring ass music.
I mean, it goes super loud.
I know. I was gonna get my.
I had bills. That's the point.
It's the start of spooky season. We are in September. I thought I had my mask. I thought I had my scarecrow mask on me, and I was going through it. Apparently, I didn't have it. I wanted to do this whole thing, and here we are now, like late and blah blah blah. So
can't exactly see, but I have my set decorated.
Sucks for me to try to have a good idea. But yeah, it's spooky season. We are in it. We are finally in it. And that's what we're talking about today. Anyway, let's go through introductions. My name's DJ. I'm your host. This is the Death Rattle Podcast at 7 p.m. I'm all right. 7 p.m. here on the East Coast, 4 p.m. on the West Coast, whatever time it is over there on the other side of the pond. I'm DJ. I'm your host. With me is my co-host, Mr. Kanan Becker. What's up, buddy?
What's up? I painted my grabber mask.
Oh, you did? Let's see it. Nice. Is that what Prop Dude made?
Yeah.
Nice. Look at that. Get it in the camera.
Yeah, the light is so bright you don't see like all the shadowing and stuff on the paint job, but
yeah,
it's there.
Put it in the camera. We care more about the mask.
I'm trying, but
it's on like the side. There you go. Weird. Yeah. Nobody wants to look at you. We want to look at the mask.
No, the microphone is in the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that looks good. Good job, Prop Dude.
There we go.
Look at that thing.
But yeah, the light is.
Yeah, it's bright light. Looks good, man. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat.
Now you can see.
What's up, Casey?
Shadowing on it.
Yes. Rest in peace, Graham Greene. We'll get into that. What's going on? Matt's in the chat. What's going on, Matt? What's going on, Heather? Tyler, what's going on? It is officially spooky season. We are in it. Terry's in the chat. What's up, Terry? What's up, Chad? Janatha, what's up? What's up, Jordan? Jack's got says presence, the monkey, sinners, and companion are not horror. Okay, you're wrong, Jack. Terry's
what does that have to do with anything?
Huh?
What does that have to do with anything? Was anybody talking about presence? Or
I wanted to read the whole thing, but then I got through the first dumb sentence and decided I was bored. Citizen Sleeve, what's up, man? Good to see you. Janet, what's up? Nightingale's in the chat. Gaston, what's up? Mr. Wonderful, hey. All right, I think I got everybody so far. Prop Dude, what's up? There it is. Yeah, we just looked at your mask. Looks good. All righty. Yeah, we are here. We are in it. Grindhouse Ghoul, what's going on? Good to see you. So we got some stuff to talk about, but being spooky season, this is when I try to cram in the most of my horror film.
Yeah, Jack has a really shitty take.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't want to read it. I don't care. It's boring. It's stupid. Sorry, Jack.
You can argue that companion and presence are not horror. Like when I talked about those, I very clearly said these are more thriller, definitely more of a thrillers that are in the they're kind of like adjacent, horror adjacent.
They're horror adjacent.
But just to be
Sinners, not horror, shut up. Sinners
like horror. You have no clue what you're talking about to say Sinners, as well as the monkey, because you might not like the monkey, and you might not like when there's comedy in your horror. But when
I love comedy in my horror, the monkey doesn't have it.
No, I'm saying no, but it's still a horror movie.
Yes.
Like that's not up for debate. Like you could say you don't like it. You could say you don't like comedy in your horror. That's fine. But it's still very clearly a horror movie. I mean, people are killed in every possible way. Like if you say Final Destination is horror, then how is the monkey not horror?
Yeah, exactly.
Or Saw.
Yeah. No, Jack, we're not reading the comment. He said, I said this year is just slasher, killer, thriller, torture porn. No, it's not.
Oh, you're just enough.
Shut up, Jack.
Like Jack, literally, like not to be a dick, but like you just are not watching enough movies.
Movies, homie. You are not watching these.
Like, dude, there's so many movies that are every genre you can think of.
I mean, Jesus.
You know,
anyway,
because there's movies, like a lot of movies that DJ hasn't even seen yet.
Yeah, I know. I know.
There's literally everything
I gotta catch
you
up.
can think of. You know, because you have everything from like body horror to drama horror to slasher horror to gore. Like you have fucking grindhouse shit. You have, I mean, like literally every subgenre that has been ever made in horror has been made this year.
Yeah.
Not saying it's all good, but you know, but that's not the point. Like, you know, I honestly think it's the best year of horror. It's the best year since
definitely better than last year. That's for sure.
It's the best year since I've been covering it. And I started covering horror like this in 2020, really. In 2021 more than, like 2020 was when I was just getting started, but 2021 I was watching almost everything that was out. Like, so since 2021, this is very clearly the best year.
Yeah. No,
I thought last year and the year before were great. I think 2022 was the best year for horror until this year. Because 2022 was like brilliant, you know. I mean, you had Barbarian, you had Smile. Like, there were so many original, really good horror movies that year, but this year's, I mean, we're still just over halfway through.
What is up with these shitty takes, guys? Weapons isn't a horror movie neither. Like, first off, your grammar is terrible. Your opinion is worse. Like, Weapons
but like that, just once again, hey what guys, is your definition of horror?
The Thing isn't a horror movie.
This is one of those where
next. We're gonna get that.
But
next.
why? Like that's what actually bugs me. Your take. What bothers me about those takes, both of those, is why is that not a horror movie? Like, how is Weapons not a horror movie? And if it's not a horror movie, why? Like,
anybody can make what
is your definition of horror?
Anybody can make a stupid argument about anything. Like,
I just don't know what your definition of horror could be that Weapons isn't a horror movie.
Right. It's like so horror fans are like metal fans, right? So you have the metal fans.
That's why I told you I hate gatekeeping, and you're like,
it's not. Yeah, but it's not gatekeeping. Dude, I am not about to get into this with you. It's not gatekeeping. It's elitism. You have these elitist metal fans that like the only thing that they consider metal is death metal, right?
It's honestly, it's the only thing they consider metal is whatever their favorite kind of metal is.
Yeah, but it's usually death metal or like something close to that. And the same thing with a lot of
horror than that. It's that it's just a certain type that you are like, for instance, when it comes to horror, and horror bugs me even more than metal, because with horror, it is simply what scares you. And everybody is scared by different things because a lot of it has to do with your life. Like the things that have happened in your life, your journey, the age you're at, what you've seen to that point, like all those things. And most of the time, what you consider a horror movie is just whatever scares you.
Yeah, well, okay.
It's like,
I gotta push back on that. I gotta push back on that a little bit. Like, right? Okay, like The Lion King is never going to be a horror movie, right? But Scar can scare you.
I'm saying a lot of these, like these kind of people,
well, that's what I'm trying to say.
Only the little box of what they think is scary. That's right. What is allowed.
So what I'm trying to say is, like the death metal elitists that don't consider anything other than death to be metal, splatter fans don't consider anything other than splatter horror. And it's like, shut the fuck up.
But like, look at Jax, for instance, right? He's like, there's nothing but killers, thrillers, slashers, torture porn.
Together is rom-com.
So those are not horror. So hold on. So
Jack,
okay, you said thriller, but you said slashers. So slashers are not horror movies. Torture porn are not horror movies. Like what?
Yeah.
Like what is horror, Jack? Like, what movie is horror?
Oh my God.
Is fucking The Shining horror? Is The Exorcist
okay,
horror?
all right. He said he's taking the piss. All right, that's okay. All right, so we're getting trolled here. That's I love it.
Well,
okay,
yeah, but I'm still talking to Jack because Jack's the one that started this. Like, what is horror?
Right? Yeah.
Because I'm not saying it. Like, I am fine if you don't like your comment. I would have had no problem with your comment if you were like, man, it's not my kind of horror. It's not the horror I enjoy. Like, all we've had this year are this type of horror movies. I'm not a fan of those. Those are not my type of horror. I would have had no problem comment at all. I would have been like, that's your opinion. Like, that's cool. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's when you try to define as say the reason you don't like them is because they're not horror. You don't elaborate on why they're not horror, and then you classify some of the most true blue of all of the subgenres of horror, say that those are not horror. Like, dude, gore porn? Like, how is that not horror? Like, it is the most, like, in the middle of the box horror. Like, it's one thing if you're talking about movies like Black Swan. If you're like, Black Swan's not horror, or a Companion, and they're like, well, yeah, I mean, they are kind of more thrillers. Like, they are kind of adjacent. They live in the same neighborhood, but I can see that. But that's not what you mentioned. You mentioned slashers very much are horror movies. They're the origins of horror. Like, some of the most original, like Psycho and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween, like, those are really kind of the beginnings of, in a lot of ways, of what horror has become. And those are basically slashers.
Well, they are. They're quintessential and like proto slashers, right? So, like, yeah.
And honestly, this is even a worse take because you said thriller. Do you know that Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Psycho, none of those were called horror movies? Do you know what they were called? They were called thrillers. Do your history, people. Because horror is a new coin. It's a new name. It's a new thing that we put on something to kind of take this big, giant amount of movies that were in the thriller category and try to narrow those down a little bit and say, okay, these are horrific. These are more like of the more extreme stuff we're going to call horror movies and not just thriller.
Yeah.
And that's how horror was born, because none of these movies, none of the history of horror from really like 1970s back, there was no horror. Like, that's not what movies were called. They were called thrillers.
Yeah. So anyway, before we get into the trailers that we're going to watch, well, actually, let's watch the trailers first. And then I want to get into, so what I was saying prior to reading Jack's comment was that September and October, I try to cram as much horror as I can into my viewing schedule. So the Horror Sucks channel is probably going to have a lot of older movies that I'm going to do reviews on to like catch up with content and stuff like that, because that's what I'm watching. So I'm going to be doing that, but I want to go over just a couple of movies with you and with the chat and talk about kind of what's on the docket. I have to cut my movies in half from last year because I just have no time. I have no time. And so I have to, but I still want to enjoy my spooky season with watching all of these movies. Some are going to be new, some are going to be rewatches, some are going to be old, but I want to go through just a little bit of them and just, talk about a little bit. So let's
average. We're basically between September and October. I average at least one horror movie a day.
Yeah.
I'll watch at least 60 horror movies between now and Halloween.
That's that. So last year, I think I watched somewhere between 60 and 80 last year. So, anyway, so we're going to watch the 28 Years Later Bone Temple trailer. So we're going to watch this and we're going to talk about it. And,
but a lot of those are rewatches for me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm going to have some rewatches. I'm going to try to watch some new stuff, but I'm also going to have some rewatches. All right, here we go. Here is the 28 Years Later Bone Temple official trailer for those of you who care.
I got to say, before we get rolling, it's another fucking killer trailer, dude. Like the team they got behind making these trailers.
They're making their money.
Dude, they're damn good at.
It's good because this movie's not going to make shit. I want to know, are we going to get as much infected dick this time around as we got with the last time?
Probably.
That's all I care about.
It wasn't that much. Jesus.
It was enough.
The one scene with the alpha.
It was like 3 scenes. And the
Whatever,
one with
dude.
that, the
you
one
you
scene
just need to look
at
more
egregious.
dick, man. You need to like stare at some dick for a while so that it doesn't bother you.
The one scene was just that egregious that it got memed on. So that's
but that was great. It was a giant fucking like hog, dude. It's like, all right, if you're gonna
that's
show
what
dick,
I'm wondering.
like,
are we gonna get more hog in
right?
this one? Come on,
they couldn't
man. You
have
knew that thing was enhanced. Come on.
No, but what's weird to me is this. You couldn't have real dick because of the kids being on set.
Right.
But I'm like, to a little kid mind, is that any different feeling looking over and seeing a super hyper real looking dude schlong?
No.
Unless it was CG, but from what I heard, it was practical.
Yeah.
So like that's just weird to me. I think, especially when it comes to kids, if you sexualize something, that's where I draw the line. If it's not sexual and it's normalized and it's just like human anatomy, it's like I don't have a problem with that. I only have issue as long as the parents are comfortable with the situation and all of that. And like, I just think it's weird. You're gonna have this guy who's like 7 feet fucking tall with this giant fake ass dildo, and that's not any more scarring.
Right.
Just doesn't have any pants on.
Right. Huh?
I think this one's going to be a lot darker and a lot less to do with like mourning. Because like this last one was so much to do with there was such a huge section that was to do with his mom and the losing of his mom. And that was, I think, even though it was kind of slow and it lost a lot of people because of that, I think it was very important to set up his story. Because you're like, this is his foundation. This is what he's coming from, this sadness and tragedy and all that. But I think we're going to have a lot less of that kind of thing going forward because now this is the next chapter of his life and these characters around him. That won't be such a, you want my
prediction? Want my prediction? The boy's going to get sidelined. That's my prediction.
And we're not going to advance his story a ton.
No, they're not.
He's just one of the characters. Because from what I have heard, he is your main focus in the first movie. The second one is the main focus is what's his name, the Bone Temple guy, the doctor.
Doubtful.
And then the third is his dad, the boy's dad. And so we're not going to get much of him in the second one. And like we'll still get some of him and we'll still get some of the boy, but they're not the main character. From what I've heard, it's basically these three central characters between the 3 movies are who our main focus is going to be on. Like with, of course, other characters involved too, just like the mom was in the first one or whatever. But like those are the 3 most important characters in this story.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's finish this.
It's so interesting that we didn't see a single shot of Jim.
Of Jim?
Yeah, Cillian Murphy. Like we know he's in this one.
Oh, okay. Well, of course not.
But he doesn't have a major role, I don't think, in this one. He's got a big role in the third one.
Yeah.
So we do see him again in this one, and then he is supposed to have a major role in the third. I just hope they make the third. I can't imagine they don't make the third, especially when you're 2 movies deep and you need the third to finish the story.
Yeah, they have to. It's just the third movie is going to be fighting against the first 2. With 28 years later being a disappointment and 28 years later, the Bone Temple going to be an abject failure. The third one's going to have to be the best.
And who are you basing that off of? That the first was a disappointment.
I'm going to show you right now.
Because it wasn't. Like
it was.
Financially, it didn't kill it, but it's still
financially it's bad. So it was below projections after every week after the opening week. It was below projections,
but it didn't bomb.
This is a bomb. Look at
not.
this. This is a bomb, Kanan.
How much money did it make worldwide?
Losing money.
How much money? That's
million
domestically
worldwide.
That's not a bomb, dude. That's not a bomb.
My guy.
It made back its money. That's not a bomb.
No, it did not. Okay, all right. I can't believe. Oh my God.
Okay, you cannot say 150 million didn't make back its money.
Okay, $60 million production budget.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're looking at
150 million. That's making back its money.
We're looking at $100 million after marketing. If you look at the worldwide box office, the way that money is split between movie theaters and the production studios is 50-50 if you're lucky. So if it made $150 million worldwide box office, cut that in half. This movie did not make money. It bombed. And it's not going to make, you always like to bring up the streaming, like when it streams, it's going to make that back. It's not.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah, it will.
This movie was a huge bomb.
Dude, it's going to make a lot of money streaming.
It's not. This movie
because Hulu or Netflix is going to pay a fortune to get it on their platform for October. Watch.
Yeah, this movie tanked. I'm just saying.
Or no, HBO's got it, right? I think HBO's got it. Either way, one of those three is going to pay a bunch of money for it to be on their streaming platform in October. And a lot more people will watch it streaming than did in theaters.
We will see. But according to...
It's going to get a lot of views streaming. It will.
According to any report, this movie at $60 million production budget, assuming that's the real production budget, because we know how they like to flub these. Let's assume that these numbers are real. Okay.
Yeah, this is one I don't think was like, it's not like Sinners where it was like possibly ballooned, because they shot both movies at the exact same time, which also made the cost a lot cheaper because they were shooting both these movies at the same time in the same location. So like that is a big part of why what's his name didn't direct both movies.
This movie needed to make $200 million.
Danny Boyle.
Like it needed to make minimum 200 million, and it was 50 million shy of that. It bombed.
I just think as long as the next one makes about the same, they're going to be all right.
It's going to be less. I guarantee you it's going to make less. I promise.
I don't really think it will. Because like I said,
Nia DaCosta is the director. And people...
Yeah, but regular people don't know about that. Regular people could give a fuck about that. Regular people just see the trailer and they're like, is that interesting? Oh, I'll go see it. And then word of mouth is what slows it down. Like this one, if anything, Bone Temple might make more. Because think about it. When does it come out, dude? It comes out in January. That is super smart on their part. That first one, a big part of why it didn't make as much is because it was also going up against Superman and fucking all these Marvel movies and these big F1 made a shitload of money. Like that's a tough ask for a horror movie, period, to be put out in the middle of the blockbuster summer season. Like I don't know why they did that. I don't think it was smart to begin with. Like if that movie comes out in October, I think it makes twice that. Because it's not a bad movie. You may not like it, but it's not a bad movie. Like it's not
good.
Yeah, it is. It's just not your cup.
It's not. It's not a
well made. It's totally well made.
Yeah, it's shot
average
well.
horror fan will be fine with that.
The music is good. The sound design is good. Like all of that tertiary stuff is good.
That make a shitload of money.
The characters are stupid.
It's better than a lot of other movies that make a bunch of money.
Okay, but that's not an argument, right? You can't, because there's plenty of great movies that don't make the money that 28 years later made. They're still better movies.
No,
so you can't
all I'm saying is, well, no, but they had big marketing. I'm just saying it could have made, I feel like it was more than the movie is why it didn't make as much as it could have. It should have. I think it should have made more. But I think when you put out a movie, you know as well as I do, that's a big part of that does affect the movie a lot. And just like I think they had too much faith in it They thought this is a big blockbuster, like the studio, because it is. It's a big blockbuster filling movie, but it still is horror, and it still is an R-rated horror, and it still is a bunch of zombies and sadness and death, and you know what I mean? It's not a blockbuster. It's just not. Like, it doesn't have that blockbuster kind of feel. And so I just think it was not a good idea to put it out in the summer. I feel like if that movie is put out the beginning of the year when Sinners came out, or if you put it out, or even a couple weeks before when it came out. Like, even in spring, it does better.
If they put it out in spring or fall, or if they put it out in spring, I think it makes maybe another $5 million. I think it's a negligible difference.
But if they put it out in October, it does twice. It does twice what it does.
No, it doesn't.
Even it goes to $300
million. It goes to $300 million.
Yeah, because it's opening weekend, it makes like $100 million.
No, it dropped off, dude.
You didn't tell me Halloween. Look at the numbers. Fucking Halloween ends as shitty of a movie as that was. Look at the numbers it made in October. There's so many.
Because it's a Halloween. It's a Halloween movie in October.
Watch the numbers. Black Phone puts up
28 weeks.
The first one.
Or 28 days later is not of the popularity of Halloween. It is not a built-in franchise icon.
No, I'm not talking the first one. Halloween ends was already nosediving, and it was splitting with Peacock because it was streaming day and day with Peacock, and it still made a buttload of money because it's fucking October.
And it's Halloween, and there's a built-in audience.
Every horror movie that's in theaters in October makes a bunch of money. Every single one, even the bad ones.
Okay, fine. It doesn't double its money. It does not go. It does not make $300 million.
I bet it makes at least another 50.
Okay, fine. I disagree.
All I'm saying is I still think it goes over that. I just think I feel like it's bad timing on top of the fact that it wasn't exactly the kind of movie that people thought it was going to be based on the trailer. I think those two things hurt it quite a bit. But I think Bone Temple, because there won't be the same expectations, because people are going to be going into it kind of have an idea of what they're getting in for, because this is kind of like a part 2. And then it is in January, where it doesn't have stiff competition, and it still has a solid looking trailer. I think it could do it as much or more than that first one. And I know it is going to cost a lot less.
It's going to have a strong opening weekend, and then it's going to plummet. It's going to nosedive. What's
up against it? What's up? I think Scream
doesn't matter. The movies, it doesn't matter. The writer, it doesn't matter. The fact that Nia DaCosta is attached to this film,
even decent horror movies in January make a lot of money, dude, because there's not much competition.
Mr. Wonderful says DJ and Kanan can't make it through one episode without getting sidetracked in ways you never expected.
Because we don't script this shit.
This is all unscripted. We talked 10 minutes before the show. What are we going to talk about?
Yeah, today wasn't even that much.
That's
like normally we'll text throughout the day ahead of time a little bit, but not today. Like it was literally like 5 minutes before. I was like,
yeah, that's our show prep. Okay, all right. Well, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
What did you think of the trailer, though?
I thought the trailer was decent. I actually thought that was a decent trailer. If I didn't know that Nia DaCosta was attached to this, and if I didn't see the first film, I'd be like, this looks like it could be good. Like
I told you it would look good, asshole.
All right, fine. Okay, there you. All right, Kanan 1, DJ
because that's what I told you about Candyman, was that Nia DaCosta is a competent director visually.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
She's not.
It's just about the story, and the rest of it is up in the air. But like visually, Candyman was phenomenal.
Yeah, and I credit the director of photography. I don't credit Nia DaCosta.
She still has the vision. She's still a director, dude.
Okay. Nothing about Candyman blew me away. Like nothing.
No, it didn't me either. But I still think it's gotten a lot of shit it didn't deserve. Like I still think there was a lot of good in that movie. I think a lot of what hurt Candyman, I know this for a fact. The majority of what hurt Candyman was when it came out. And it sucks because the cultural themes about racism and things like that it was talking about That movie was written like 3-4 years before 2020. But it was like when it came out, it was like the worst timing. Everybody was so tired of just hearing about all that heavy type of subject matter. And I think that's a huge part of it. People were like, man, I don't want to go see a movie that is preaching at me about racial issues. Like all I've been hearing for the last year is the news about that kind of stuff.
So Nia DaCosta said, making 28 Years Later sequel was one of the best filmmaking experiences I've ever had. One of the issues that I had with Candyman and the Marvels was the lack of a really solid script, which is always going to just wreak havoc on the whole process.
Shit.
And I will listen. I'll agree with
exactly
that.
What I said.
Yeah. I'll agree with that. So if it's the script that's holding Nia DaCosta back, let's take a look at who wrote the script.
There was 4 writers on Candyman.
Oh man, Nia DaCosta wrote the script.
There's 4 writers, dude.
So Nia DaCosta,
dude,
is
4
telling
writers
on herself.
There was
saying
4
that
writers.
The lack of a good script. Okay, so Nia DaCosta, being the director and the first credited writer, had less influence on the script than whoever Megan McDonnell and Elisa Karasik is.
Yeah. Do you notice who else is not listed as one of the writers?
It doesn't matter. Nia DaCosta is.
Do you know who the other writer was?
The main writer director.
No. Do you know who the other writer was?
Who?
You know who fucking produced the movie?
There's 3 writing credits on the Marvels. 3. Okay. So Nia DaCosta, one of the issues I had with Candyman and the Marvels.
Do you not know who made Candyman?
Wait, I'm not on Candyman. I'm on the Marvels. I'm looking. Now we're gonna move to Candyman. Ready? We're moving to Candyman.
Oh, the Marvels really doesn't count because the Marvels is a Disney thing, and they've been fucking up
Nia
everything.
DaCosta credited as a writer for Candyman.
Yeah, but look who's the main writer on Candyman.
She's telling on herself.
Yeah, but do you think she had much say
over Jordan Peele? I don't know. Yeah. Probably not. But Jordan Peele's a better writer than Nia DaCosta.
I'm not saying he's not, but he was the main writer for Candyman, and you had problems with the script. It's not Nia DaCosta's fault.
Okay, dude, I don't know why you're shilling for Nia DaCosta so hard. She's a terrible writer and a terrible director.
It's what I've said all along. I think that there's potential for Nia DaCosta to make good films.
She has had so many chances to make a good film, and she has failed all of those chances. And she's blaming herself.
She hasn't. Look at
why it's
she's
bad.
Done besides those 2 things.
It doesn't matter.
Because I believe in her because of
she's a writer director on everything that she's worked on, and they're bad movies. So that doesn't give anybody.
She got a writer credit, dude. She got a writer credit.
Oh,
you know as well as I do what that means in Hollywood.
Come on, man.
You know as well as I do what that means in Hollywood. That's it's just a paycheck. It's just an extra paycheck.
That's a producer credit.
Room.
That's a producer credit.
She was in the writer's room.
Okay. All right, whatever. I have no faith that Bone Temple is going to be good because
I have no faith that you'll like it regardless. So that's not the point. You didn't like the last one, and I think it's a very good movie.
Yeah. All right. What else are we talking about? Or do you want to get to some chats? People have been pretty lively.
Yeah, let's get to the chat.
You want to do some chats? Let's go. All right, guy. All right, chat. Here we go. I gotta scroll back just a little bit. All right, we're gonna start with Gaston says, looks like the Power Rangers gang are going to be the main characters in the second one. Yep. Or at least one of them. And I think we all know which one. Saya, what's up? Good to see you. Sorry you're late. Jack said, oh no. Jack says, I agree with DJ. A movie named 28 Weeks Later has more potential to make more. Well, I think 28 weeks is better than or worse than 28 years. I'm not going to go that far to say that.
Dude, Bone Temple is a fucking cool sounding name.
It is. It is. But Bone Temple is
they'll probably end up calling it 28 years or 28 years later the Bone Temple is what its probably official title on things is going to be anyway.
What's going on, Kay? Deppermint, good to see you. Carol Ann says the studio considered it a slight disappointment. I don't know about that. It lost a shit ton of money, and they don't like doing that.
It was a slight disappointment. It did not lose a shitload of money. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it killed it.
It lost $50 million.
No way.
Do you have $50 million to lose? If you're a millionaire,
when it's all said and done, it will not lose any money.
Yes, it will.
It just didn't make a bunch.
Dude, all right. You need to start.
No way that movie lost money. There's no way that movie lost money.
You need to start bringing receipts to this streaming argument that you have. I can't find any.
I know a bunch of people on Twitter that fucking produced that movie, and none of them are like we lost our asses on it. They're not.
They're not going to say that. They want to keep a job. They're not going to say that.
Dude, executive producers there is no job for executive producers to lose or get. They're the paycheck. They're who pay for the movie. They don't have a job. They're just simply investors.
Hang on. Sorry. Once you start bringing me receipts for these streaming numbers, then we can start having that argument. I cannot find any.
It's impossible, and you know that.
That's why I don't bring it up.
That's
why I don't bring it up.
Because Netflix doesn't report. Neither does Hulu. None of these companies report.
Bring it up.
But there's a reason.
You cannot.
There's a reason that we hear that they pay like $300 million for fucking for fucking Godzilla. Netflix paid $300 million to get the rights to play Godzilla -1, like stuff like that. You get rumors, but there's never concrete because nobody's gonna officially say yes. They paid us X amount of dollars for lots of reasons, including taxes. But these companies don't have to report, so they don't.
Therefore, you cannot use that as an argument. Does that not make sense?
I do know for a fact that even my buddy's Little Tiny Nothing movie made money on Tubi. Just like I make money off Netflix or off YouTube. So I know that even if you get like a couple thousand streams, you do get some money from that. And I know that there's no way 28 years later during October is not going to get, hundreds of thousands of views, if not millions of views in October on HBO or Netflix. Of course it will.
But $50 million worth to take them to break even?
I think they're going to make a lot more than that.
Then you got to provide the receipt.
I think these companies, dude, Prime gave Jimmy fucking Mr. Beast. They gave him $300 million to make his stupid TV show. $300 million.
His name is worth that.
What I'm saying is these companies don't have to pay for advertising, so they pay a shitload of money to get the rights for these movies and TV series.
Okay,
I gotta get crazy dollars. There's a reason these companies, these companies in Hollywood are still making movies and still spending, like Disney, still spending $300 million to make these movies. There's a reason they're still doing that. If they were losing as much money as everybody acts like they are, they wouldn't continue to do it.
Yes, they would. They have to.
How could they? How could they? If they were losing like what you act like they do on all these, like especially Marvel, you act like they lose hundreds of millions on all these movies.
They do.
Like if they were, there's no way they would continue to greenlight these $300 million projects. They don't have to report. Like Disney does not have to report how much money they make or spend on shit.
Because they are 5 years. They are 5. That's how they plan these things out. Their slates are slated in 5 years.
They're continuing to greenlight. They're still continuing to greenlight.
They can't just stop. They've already greenlit this shit. That's why they sat on Ironheart for 3 years and then finally just shat it out.
No, there's certain things like that they know they're going to take a loss on. But I'm saying a lot of these, like from what I recently, like I heard this week, they like broke numbers when what's it called dropped on Disney this week. What's the name of the Marvel movie? The one that came out in like February or March, the one that I told you was really good. The Marvel version of Suicide Squad.
Oh,
why am I blinking? Yeah. Like they broke numbers this week for streaming on Disney. It was the highest streamed thing or something along those lines. that they had in like years, if not, or it was like crazy numbers.
Okay, and those
like they make money when that happens.
Okay, man.
Like, yes, they do lose money. They do lose money on a lot of these projects, but there's a reason they continue to do that.
They don't lose $1/3 billion and then make it up in streaming. They don't. If they did, it would be.
I'm not saying they're making 250 million, but are they making 50 or 100 million? Yeah.
2 Marvel movies lost them $1/3 billion. That's only 2 Marvel movies. Every Marvel movie that's come out in the last 2 years,
talking about this year,
has been a loss. The Thunderbolts lost money. It did not make money. Captain America: Brave New World,
they said it broke even.
Money. They said broke even. They're fucking lying.
Thunderbolts broke even. Captain America did not break even.
If they said that they broke even, they are fucking lying. We know
they also made money. They made money on Fantastic Four.
Disney misreports their production budgets by almost $100 million. Yes. There's been reports of this left and right. They lie.
But don't you think it also goes the other direction?
They're going to lie about how much money they lost? Yeah, I think they lost.
Also lie about how much money they make. But they also lie about how much money they make.
Yeah, they say they make more than they did.
I'm just saying, nobody is in the business of losing money. So if you're always losing money, you do not continue to spend this amount of money on movies.
That's why there's been so much shakeup. That's why there's been so much shakeup in these studios. That's why
they expect to make $1 billion.
Things.
Like they expect these Marvel movies to get close to $1 billion. I agree with you as far as they're not reaching their expectations at all.
The problem is
they're also not losing money. All I said was they're not losing as much as people are acting like. That's it. And my main point,
you're right, they're losing more.
28 years later. Like, regardless of Disney, I'm talking about 20 years later. I'm just saying it's going to break even when it's all said and done. Is it going to make money? Are they all happy having celebrations? No. But I think it's going to, I'm very confident that it broke money. It broke, like, from everything I've heard from people that actually are on the inside.
Show me receipts.
It break even. I can't because I can't tell you who these people are. They wouldn't talk to me anymore, Dick.
Then
you know how business works.
I'm not saying
I can tell you off air, but I can't tell you on air.
I'm not saying reveal who they are, but like anything. Not just my friend said. Anything.
Well, that's like the best possible source, dude, is when you know someone who actually has money up for it.
Okay.
You know, it's the same person who is also executive on Sinners. And he was the other person who told me that Sinners was going to break even. And everybody was saying they were going to lose all this money. And he's like, we're not going to make a ton because we didn't spend a lot. But he's like, we're going to break even. Projections have us at breaking even.
Sinners made money.
No, it broke even.
Okay.
Because Sinners definitely cost more than what the news was reporting.
Okay. Sinners, how much more? Because that's making money.
What did it show on there?
It is so over its projections. Like this yellow cloud is the projection.
Yeah, this over projections.
This
they
line
spent like $250 million to make it. It was like $250 million to make. It was like between $200 and $250 million. Like when it's all said and done, it had to make like $250 million to break even because of the split with the theaters, advertising, and then it also was like they had all these reshoots, and then there's also back end numbers which people don't ever talk about. But like when you have big stars like they did in this movie, all those people get back end money. So like, you know, you hear, you know, so-and-so gets 20 million to be in Sinners, right? But you don't hear is he also has 2 points on the back end. So he's getting a percentage of that. And so-and-so, like a bunch of people get back end money. That's how you're able to save money on up front. Because then if a movie doesn't make money, well, they don't get much money either. So it's like a risk. It's what happened with like basically everybody involved that made Toxic Avengers, this new one, like basically everybody they went for like the bare minimum up front, like basically SAG-AFTRA, I can't speak, but the SAG bare minimum salary,
the Film Actors Guild.
And then took money on the back end so that you could make it. Cause like a movie like Toxic Avenger, dude, they have no budget. Like they can't, they have maybe a couple million to make that movie. And if you go and you pay all these actors and these writers and these directors and all these people, like what they normally would get paid, you're talking about a $30-40 million movie. And it's how movies like that get made money. Which sucks is Toxic Avenger is making nothing. Like it made like $1 million, dude. Like I think it's like 1.8 opening weekend or something like that.
Yeah, well, that's I don't know, man.
Fucking sad.
Toxic Avengers. Well, okay, but it's not all right. Well, look, we got 10 minutes till 8, and I want to talk about some movies that.
Well, let's hear the chat. We didn't get to any of the chat really.
I know, because every time I bring up a controversial comment, we have to go into it for 15 minutes. I'm not complaining. I like it. It's just I have a hard out at 8 o'clock.
It's the same conversation.
I know, because but everybody
read a couple chats and then we jump right back into the same conversation.
I know. All right, I'm going to scroll up a little bit.
In the chat. I'm going to run to the fridge. I can still hear.
Okay,
but I can't talk, so I can't interrupt.
Okay, all right. I'm going to start at. Jim Bob saying Jordan Peele is way overrated. I disagree. Grindhouse Ghoul says I didn't like her movies. I'm assuming you said Nia DaCosta. Yeah, I didn't, and a lot of people didn't either. Chad, are you guys keeping up with Alien Earth? I put the new episode on pause just to come hang out with you guys. Well, thanks, man. We appreciate that. I haven't seen any of the Alien Earth. I have no interest in seeing it.
No spoilers.
So no spoilers.
I'm
Prop dude,
waiting to watch it because I want to like be able to binge it. So I'm waiting for Dexter to be over, the last episode of Dexter, which is one of the best seasons of TV in years, dude. This season of Dexter, oh my god, dude, it is so good. But I've heard Alien Earth looks incredible, like the best alien looking property that we've had in years, is from what I've heard. But story wise, it's like there's some elements that are really, really good, and then other things that you're kind of like, but it's still good, like entertaining. Like I haven't heard anybody say it's bad. Like I haven't heard a single person say it's bad.
I have better things to watch.
It's fucking free TV, you asshole. You don't even got to spend any money to watch it.
Prop Dude says formulaic checkbox kind of film has more to do with those films versus ability as a director, IMO. Okay, so it's woke now that's why Nia DaCosta has all failures of her films is because of the woke. Is that what you're trying to say, Prop Dude?
Candyman, yeah.
Okay.
Candyman. That's what I said. It was bad timing because that movie was very woke. Like in a good way. It had a good message. It was trying to say a good message. It wasn't trying to be toxic or anything. It just happens to be that it was one of those where people were tired of that conversation. We had just been having that in the news for over a year. And so it was just bad timing when that movie came out. Like I think if Candyman comes out right now, it does better. I'm still not saying it's a great movie. It has its problems, but
if Nia DaCosta ever sees this, if she doesn't call you to hire you as her agent, she's an idiot.
I think she does a good job as a director.
You're probably a better agent for Nia DaCosta than whoever she already has. Dude, I almost want to
rewatch. When was it? I think you really should rewatch Candyman. Give it a fair shot because it's a well-directed movie.
I always give it a fair shot.
Like, I'm not saying the script. Like, dude, you know as well as I do, you can only do so much with script. If you're a director and you have bad acting, we talked about this.
No, a script, you do. A good script.
The script is the same.
A good script makes
if you have a bad script. I know. If you have a bad script and bad actors, there is only so much a good director can do.
Right. No, I agree. Yes.
And that's all I'm saying with Nia DaCosta. I feel like when I watch Candyman, I can see there's a really good job of directing here that the script is kind of letting down. because it's not a
That
bad
she
script.
wrote.
I will never say but she didn't, dude.
She did.
Candyman,
She has a writing
dude,
credit.
Candyman, she was in the writer's room. Jordan Peele is really who wrote that movie.
That movie did not sound like Jordan Peele has a big enough portfolio to have a directorial and a writing voice. That movie did not sound like Jordan Peele at all.
But it was actually the other person, I forget the name, because they're the one that wrote the original script, and then it went to a writer's room where Nia DaCosta and Jordan Peele came in. So everything I have heard, it was more of like, this is that person's script, and then there was like a day or two basically with DaCosta and Peele in there to help kind of mold it. But like, it's because there's other things DaCosta's been involved in, like shorts and stuff that are really fucking good. It's why I am telling you, as a director, she's a good director. I don't know if she's going to be an amazing director. I'm not saying that.
I can't wait till she's at least good.
I just think like she's got a bad rap, and The Marvels is the biggest one, dude, because that movie was just fucking trash, and that was not her fault.
Even though she wrote and directed it. Even though she wrote and directed it.
Dude, it is the most Disney of all of the Disney-fication fucking Marvel movies. Like, you could tell that there was producers pulling all the strings because it had none of the style of anything else she's ever made or been involved in. Like, you didn't see The Marvels. The Marvels is like so bad, dude. It's so laughably bad. You can tell the whole thing has got marketing shit. Like, they're doing stuff that is blatantly angled at little girls to buy merchandise and toys and shit. I mean, like, it's that dumb.
I'm going to try to get through these chats.
And that's part of why I defend her so much, because I feel really bad about the Marvels when it comes to her. Same with like Sam Raimi, dude. Like Sam Raimi
has good movies.
If Marvel fucks up, but
you can point to Sam Raimi movies and be good. You can't.
Sam Raimi has about as much clout. Dude, Sam Raimi has about as much clout as anybody in Hollywood, and Disney still fucked his movie. So you're trying to tell me a young director who is getting this opportunity has any say?
So then the movies that she did prior to should be good.
They were the shorts and TV series. Other things she's done is actually good stuff, dude. Go look at the other things she's done. I'm telling you.
Okay. Al says at least it's real. They don't like kiss
her VHS. Her VHS, I believe it was VHS segment was really fucking good. Like, she's done some good shit. She directed a couple episodes of Lovecraft Country that were really fucking good. I think that's where she actually got one of her first things was directing that. I don't know. I'd have to look, but I'm telling you, there's more than just Candyman that I'm basing my opinion of her on.
Yeah, I think you should base your opinion of her off of her library of work, and the majority of her work is bad.
No. You're talking about Marvel. The Marvels is the only thing she's done that is bad.
Candyman.
But look at James Wan, dude. James Wan is one of the best filmmakers we have in the last decade or two, right? And he made one of the worst fucking DC movies in Aquaman 2. That movie is just trash.
John Carpenter has made bad movies. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It's so her body of work is bad.
No, it's not, dude. What else have you seen?
I don't want to talk about Nia DaCosta. I want to get through these chats. I'm trying. I want to get through these chats. All right. Ice Princess says, I'm looking forward to Dream Eater. Mr. Wonderful.
What's that?
Dream Eater? I don't know. Mr. Wonderful says, if only Power Rangers had boobs with boob zords. Okay. All right, Mr. Wonderful. Al says, don't be a bum, hit the thumb. That's right. We got 46 people watching right now. I want to see 46 likes on this video, please. Prop Dude says, as one of the resident alien nuts here, I can argue on their behalf. Thank you, Prop Dude. Alien Earth is not for Alien or Aliens fans. It's a turn brain off show. Okay. That's from Prop Dude. Really? Jim Bob says, I dug 28 years later. The ending didn't quite stick, but if it's the first in a trilogy, it might make me hopeful for the next movie. Will fire on all cylinders. Well, Jim, I actually hope you're right. Gory Tiger says, what's up? What's up? Grindhouse Ghoul says, show us the receipts. Yeah. Jack says a movie named The Black Phone 2 probably shouldn't be the biggest of October.
I know, but it
Why?
will be.
Yeah, I don't think it will be. Why is it supposed to be?
No, it will be. There's not much coming out in October. Like, it fucking sucks, dude. Like, I don't know what is going on, but at least at this point, there ain't shit for horror movies in October. Like, there's some big ones this month.
We probably got to rely on indie.
Well, I think they want that running up point is what a lot of companies are doing now. So that's why Him comes out this week and The Long Walk, or this month, and The Long Walk comes out this month. I think
I can't wait to
capitalize. They're wanting to capitalize on that October, and not, instead of releasing it in October, they're releasing it a little early. So it kind of like, hopefully in their minds, will get a little bit of that staying power, you know what I mean, and have longer legs in the theater because of that. Huh?
I said, what's up, Phillies? He said hi.
But as far as big releases in October, I think Black Phone 2 is the only one.
That might be. Jim Bob says, can we all agree we're long overdue for a Nightmare on Elm Street? No. Stop remaking movies. God damn it.
No, I don't know.
Jordan says, meanwhile, we can't get Blade
think
still. And good.
I would
good.
like
Leave Blade alone. Leave it alone.
Yeah, but they're still trying to make that fucking movie.
Yeah, well, please stop.
And then I already heard the early reports on The Conjuring Last Rites that comes out tomorrow that it's not good.
Surprising no one. Moses Blunt says, Kanan, I seen Chun-Li standing by your car the other day. She must be drinking toilet water. What does that mean?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Stop smoking crack, Moses.
Chun-Li? Are you talking about like Chung-Li from the Pawn Stars?
Yeah. Was Chun-Li standing by your car?
And plus, you don't know where my car is. I promise you don't know where my car is. Okay, so I guess we have Good Boy coming out in October.
I don't know if I want to see that.
The trailer didn't like blow me away, but we also have Tron, which isn't horror, but it still looks badass.
Yeah. Jack says every 90s Goosebumps had setting and great monster, but the non-anthological CGI teen BS Disney did with Goosebumps sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, Black Phone.
Mr. Wonderful says, I recommend seeing a YouTube channel called Bright Sun Films and their investigations on Disney. They do documentaries on abandoned properties, and Disney has a lot. They're losing a lot of money. Okay, we'll take a look at that.
When is it in October? Is that the new or the next Oscar Perkins movie? Is that come out in October?
Oh, maybe. Janathan says, as the horror maestros argue about Marvel. Yeah, we'll argue about anything because it's related.
But like Predator comes out in November.
Ugh.
The Running Man comes out in November. I'm like, why are these movies not in October? Like, those feel like they should be in October.
Jim Bob says,
it's so weird. Normally November is like the worst month for movies. And this month or this year, there's some really good movies in November.
Maybe I have no idea. Jim Bob says, thoughts on the new Street Fighter movie with the WWE wrestlers making up half the cast? I don't know. That seems like it should be.
Hold on. Where did you hear?
Jim Bob said, I haven't heard anything about a new Street Fighter movie. I saw the new Mortal Kombat.
I didn't hear that as being greenlit. I heard there has been talks for a while because like the Philippou brothers were originally supposed to do a Street Fighter movie.
Carol Ann says, oh my God, Sinners made money. It was at 340 million 4 months ago. I think it made money. I don't think the production budget says between 90 and 100 million. So if they're lying, let's just say it's 150 million. It at least, and you're saying it broke even.
Sinners? A lot of the reports were 200 million.
So they're misreporting their production budget by half.
100 million.
Saying.
There's people that are saying it was as high as 200 million. I don't know if I think it was more like probably 150. Well, I do know that that they're looking at it as just pretty much breaking even. Like they're happy with it because they were thinking it was going to lose money. Like it was looking like it was going to really lose money. And so of course they're happy. Like it's been the because not only did Sinners make a lot of money, but when the awards season comes and it's going to get tons of awards, like when it comes to production companies, that's as good as money because that just boosts up, it like raises the water of everything else they're doing. It's why A24 like made such a killing after Everything Everywhere All at Once won the Academy Award. It was like, same with Neon this past year when what's it called, won for best movie. It's like now Neon has a lot more money for their projects and stuff. Yeah, dude, I don't know what you're talking about because I don't see anything greenlit for a new Street Fighter. I just see a shitload of rumors. And I've been hearing that for a while, but like I haven't heard anything official about a new Street Fighter.
Kyle says the Bone Temple trailer came out last night. Yeah, we talked about it early in the show.
Is he talking about Mortal Kombat? Maybe he's talking about the new.
Yeah, are you talking about Mortal Kombat? Because I haven't seen anything on Street Fighter.
Because that looks fantastic. I'm excited about that.
Al says, hit the like or take a hike. Horror Dad says, what are you expecting from the new Conjuring? I'm expecting it to be middling to bad, like the rest of them.
Yep. I almost don't even. Actually, I don't want it. To be honest, I'm
not seeing it. I know you probably have to. I'm not seeing it. The Conjuring 1 was good. 2 was
great. No, 2 was better than 1, man.
I haven't seen them in a long time.
Yeah,
so maybe 2 is better. I don't remember it being better.
But the first 2 are good. They're worth.
The first 2 are the first 2 are decent. But everything the fact that the Conjuring even spawned a franchise is just blows my mind because the rest of them are awful.
The first 2 were James Wan. It's like, of course, James Wan walks away, and now it's not going to be as good. I mean, the guy they got to make the third one is the guy that made La Llorona, which is a pile of crap. And guess who made this new one? The same fucking director. And La Llorona and Conjuring 3 are horrible. They're just boring, slow fucking movies.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they keep rehiring this guy. I mean, I guess
same reason they keep hiring Nia DaCosta.
They are.
Grindhouse School says you guys should end up watching the VHS Halloween
trailer.
Where
are you looking at? DaCosta does not have that much stuff. She's a pretty new director.
Yeah, and everything she does is bad. All right. Chad says, I'm hearing good reviews of the new Conjuring flick. Yeah, you're probably gonna. They want those reviews out there. So people will watch
50 on Rotten Tomatoes, man. What are you talking about? Or I thought it was right around 50.
Mr. Ruffle says so much for trailers. We watched.
Yeah, dude, it's trailer. 60, man.
What is this? Jack says Kanan shits on everyone, but somehow when he brings up that Shelby Oaks dude, he always has good things. Kanan doesn't shit on anybody ever, Jack. Who are you watching? I shit on people.
You're like, hey, don't take that away from me.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm the shitting on people guy.
Kanan doesn't shit on anybody.
Yeah, dude, The Conjuring's got 60% of Rotten Tomatoes. And I never say that Rotten Tomatoes is the end all be all. I just don't. I don't. Yeah. Same with IMDb. I don't think that those are gospel, but there is something to them to a certain extent. When a movie does horrible on those, usually it does mean the movies aren't very good. It's rare that a movie does horrible on those and you watch it, you're like, what are you talking about? This is actually a really good movie. That's very rare.
Jim Bob's asking, are the VHS movies good? I'm a couple films into the Hell House LLC films and thought about jumping into VHS. Yeah, they are. They're actually good. Yeah, they're actually good.
But there's some big thing with VHS is you got to look at it like it's an anthology. So it's you're going to have some segments that are amazing, and then you're going to have some segments that are just kind of it's all right. And it's kind of that way with every single one.
Films. Yeah, overall they're good films. VHS 2 is still my favorite.
But they've been so many up and coming horror filmmakers got their start from VHS segments. And even like what's cool is you'll have someone like David Bruckner who will come out and do like, you know, the most recent Hellraiser and like Night House and like, you know, all these other really good movies, these big movies or bigger movies, and then he goes back and does another segment. So like that's what's cool too, is like you'll have these guys who become like successful and still go back and do segments. But you have stuff like Justin Long, his first time ever directing a movie. Him and his brother directed a segment in last year's VHS. And so like that's what's cool too, is you got people that have always wanted to direct but have never, you know, gotten an opportunity because, you know, no one's gonna give them the money to make a full-on movie. But when, you know, you get a couple $100,000 or $1 million to make a short, you know, they'll give someone like Justin Long a chance. And I don't think his was the best segment of last.
Grindhouse
so Justin Long's probably a bad example, but still.
Well, hey, sorry, I'm reading the chat, and Grindhouse says there's literally a set photo for Street Fighter. Where?
Well, that doesn't mean anything, dude, because everything is AI right now. So, like, if you're looking at your news,
I gotta see
Facebook,
it. I'll be able to judge if it's AI. I gotta see it. I need to see it.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I didn't see it anywhere.
Type Street Fighter 2026 onto Google. Okay, then I gotta go. I'm dying here. All right, Street Fighter 2026. We're gonna see if this is
okay. Upcoming film.
There is no confirmed Street Fighter movie for 2026. The project was removed from its March 2026 release schedule by Sony Pictures in early 25 and is currently delayed indefinitely. So,
yeah,
there is no movie coming out. So,
yeah, and the thing that I'm seeing on Wikipedia is the same shit. It's got all these fucking wrestlers and shit, but it's the same thing that's been there for.
Yeah, all of these,
like
all of this is
now,
AI,
this
guys.
Has been rumored.
Are you guys looking at? Hang on, I'm trying to.
I mean, it's on Wikipedia, so like I get what they're saying, but this is the same thing that we've been hearing about for a long ass time. But the trailer shit, that's AI generated, man. The one that's got all the wrestlers in it and the set photos, this is AI shit. Like I'm looking at it right now. This is AI stuff.
Yeah, you guys, my God. How do you look at this?
Yeah, I mean, like, are you looking at these pictures too?
How do you look at this and not see
yeah,
AI?
It's very
Come on,
clearly
guys.
AI stuff.
You're all smarter than this. Stop
well,
it.
There's like, no, but there's ones with professional wrestlers that are
This is Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I know, but there's ones that they have the face, like, it'll be like, there's like one that looks like that, but it's got Roman Reigns' face.
Yeah, there is no Street Fighter movie, guys. Stop.
Yeah. Because like, no, I'm not saying there is no movie, but there's nothing greenlit that's officially being shot yet, as far as I know. Like there's lots of rumored stuff, and like I know that it's been in the works, but it's been in the works for like over 10 years. Like they've been trying to get a Street Fighter movie made for a long, long time. So I don't know anything official on it.
Okay. All right. I think, all right. All right. I'm going to read Gaston's question, but you're going to be disappointed. He says, question, DJ, what's your take on The Ugly Stepsister? I haven't seen it yet, so I still have to see it. I hear it's really good. I'm looking forward to watching it, but I just haven't seen it yet. And we're not getting to, so I'm going to remove this.
Okay. So the film will be directed by Kitao Sakurai, who has taken over the project from Bring Her Back filmmakers Danny and Micah Philippou. Same thing that I've been talking about and that we heard for a long time. And it's supposedly going to be released in 2026, but
it's not. They took it off.
It's pulled off the calendar now. So
yeah,
that director may not even still be who's doing it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I got to get out of here. Are you staying on, or are we calling it?
No,
we're calling it.
Call it. Yeah.
All right.
I need to get something to eat.
All right. Yeah.
I got to finish this fucking video.
Thanks everybody for watching. This was a great episode. Thank you to the chat. You guys are always awesome. Thank you for coming out. We will be on next Wednesday, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. on the West Coast, and whatever time it is over there on the other side of the pond. I'm DJ. This is Kanan. This is the Death Rattle Podcast. We're out of here. Bye.
There's a lot more to directing a movie than just